Yeah, I think learning how to use AI effectively, ethically in your research, I think obviously that's going to become an essential skill for any researcher. But I would say more, less about what new skills you should learn and more about potentially what other skills you shouldn't drop because you're using AI. And I think arguably for me, one of the most important ones is sort of reading and learning the field. So, I mean, you can use AI, it's very effective to summarize a paper. But I always say this to my undergraduate students is there's more to reading a paper than just getting the 2 or 3 bullet point highlight results. You know, the introduction and discussion, you're learning about the field, the history of the field, ideas, you're learning about methods, you're learning about like how to structure a paper, all these different things that come from reading a paper. And you lose that if you just use AI to summarize it. So for some time, sure, it's useful if you need just the highlights of the paper, but I would say still take that time to read, to learn the field, because this is where you get the ideas, which is the big thing that we still need. Um, and also, there are still some, at least for now, if you want to stay in academia, there are still some things where you can't use AI. So if you go for a job interview or an interview for a grant or something like this, you won't be able to rely on AI. So you still need to have this field knowledge. Yeah, I think the other thing if I was going to make a strategic point and you wanted to think strategically about what skills you should learn, I think maybe having some sort of like field skills or some field study system which you're an expert in is a very useful kind of thing to have. It's still something where AI can be useful in this, help us to do field work, help identify different specimens, etc. It can even be used in like measuring museum specimens, but there is still some human element in this of going into the field, collecting these data. So, I mean, this has always been important. This isn't to say that fieldwork is only now important in AI, in the kind of the era of AI, but I think having those sort of skills could be a kind of strategic way of thinking of stuff you can do in the world of AI. But I think just using it as a tool, and so learning the skills to be able to effectively use it in research, but not kind of letting it replace every single part of the process, I think would be my main advice.